So imagine you're trying to predict the path of a Category 5 hurricane, right?
Okay.
But you're only allowed to measure the temperature of individual lightning strikes. And meanwhile, the meteorologist sitting right next to you is just ignoring the sky entirely.
Wait, really? Ignoring the sky?
Yeah, completely. They were choosing instead to map the deep, slow-moving ocean currents beneath the storm.
Oh, I see.
You are both looking at the exact same weather system, but your tools, your metrics, and, well, your underlying philosophies are just fundamentally at odds.
And if that hurricane is the modern consumer market, I mean, the lightning strikes and the ocean currents represent two entirely different ways of decoding human attention.
Exactly. And that is the perfect setup for today's deep dive. We are opening up a really fascinating stack of sources today.
Yeah, it's a direct data dump straight from the AI Market Arena's performance tracking system, right?
That's the one. It's timestamped for June 11th, 2026. And I want to be incredibly clear right out of the gate here for everyone listening. What we're doing today is looking at a strict observation log. We are exploring the mechanics of trend intelligence and, advanced algorithmic behavior. This is a simulation analysis. It is absolutely not financial or investment advice.
Yeah, that is a really critical distinction to make, because the terminology of trend intelligence, it often overlaps with market trading, but the actual goals are very different.
Right, exactly.
The AI market arena isn't trying to execute a stock buy. It is trying to mathematically model the highly complex, ever-shifting heat of the Japanese market. I mean,
right.
It's basically treating collective human attention as a physics problem.
And to solve that physics problem, the arena has pitted two distinct algorithmic units against each other.
Right.
On one side, we have Team Rhino Titans, and their algorithm, well, it functions like a deeply sensitive seismograph.
Yeah.
It hunts for what they call structural stillness.
Which means the quiet, foundational, entirely predictable shifts in society.
Exactly. And then on the other side, you have Team Falcon Arrows.
Right, the Falcon Arrows.
So if Rhino is a seismograph looking for tectonic plates, Falcon is like a highly tuned microphone listening for the sound of breaking glass.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. They are engineered to ride the turbulent waves of kinetic propagation.
Right.
So they basically scan the digital ecosystem for rapid, dynamic, viral tech and consumer surges.
It's just a completely different way of seeing the world. And the arena they are fighting in, the Japanese market, is uniquely suited to test these two philosophies.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have a society with deep-rooted, almost rigid traditional structures and seasonal habits, right?
Yeah.
But that is operating parallel to some of the most hyper-adaptive consumer technology adoption on the entire planet.
Which means by observing how these algorithms succeed or fail, we are getting a real-time footprint of how a highly advanced society operates.
Yeah, we get to see what captures our collective attention.
Exactly, the mechanisms of how it spreads, and perhaps most importantly, how quickly it just vanishes.
Right. So, to really understand these mechanics, let's look at the starting line. The source data shows us the new deployments.
These are the fresh variables in the simulation, right?
Yeah, these are the concrete trend targets that were just dropped into the arena today at exactly 0000 hours UTC. They are beginning their 10-day trend evaluation window.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's start with Team Rhino Titans. Their new deployment is the keyword Masuku.
Face mask.
Right, categorized under health and beauty. And the system logic notes this is a classic play for structural stillness.
Makes sense.
They are anticipating recurring seasonal surge spikes tied directly to the humid, rainy season conditions in Japan.
Which historically causes a spike in respiratory discomfort.
Right.
It is entirely biological and environmental.
I have to push back on this a bit, though.
Okay, go for it.
We are talking about a state-of-the-art AI trend intelligence system. And its big prediction is that people in Japan will buy face masks during the rainy season.
Yeah.
I mean, my 10-year-old nephew could predict that. How is an advanced algorithm generating any real value on something so painfully obvious and safe?
I get that. You are hitting on the central irony of the Rhino algorithm.
Right.
You look at it and say, well, that's obvious, but that boring predictability is the algorithm's entire superpower. The AI isn't just saying people will buy masks.
Where is it doing that?
It is mathematically modeling the exact floor and ceiling of that demand by cross-referencing real-time humidity indexes, historical local pollen forecasts, and multi-year search volume decay rates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it finds the absolute structural baseline.
So it's not trying to guess a spike, it's calculating a certainty.
Exactly. The rainy season in Japan, the physical realities of human respiratory comfort, these things do not change just because a celebrity posted a viral video.
Right.
Rhino basically strips away all the noise of the modern internet and anchors itself to biological constants.
Okay, contrast that with Team Falcon Arrows. Their new deployment is Turu, right, under the technology category. And the AI market arena describes this as a kinetic, broad concept capturing the explosive influx of user-friendly web utilities, script helpers, and automation plugins reshaping digital life.
Yeah, Falcon is operating on a totally different frequency there.
How so?
Well, to measure kinetic propagation for a broad term like tool, the algorithm isn't looking at the weather. It is scanning developer forums like GitHub.
Okay.
It is monitoring the velocity of API calls across various platforms, and it is measuring the sentiment acceleration on social networks. It is looking for velocity.
It's trying to catch the lightning strike of a new software suddenly going viral.
Exactly. And that requires an incredibly sensitive trigger.
Right.
Falcon needs to detect the moment a handful of niche developers talking about a new automation script suddenly spills over into mainstream consumer tech blogs. It needs the heat. It needs the propagation.
But a trend is only a theory until it actually hits the chaotic reality of the public sphere, right?
Very true.
So if we move from these freshly deployed keywords to the data on the active missions, we can see what happens when the simulation meets the real world.
Yeah, these are the units currently navigating the midpoint of their 10-day window.
Right. The rough environment where those initial mathematical predictions are basically subjected to the daily, totally unpredictable grind of shifting consumer attention.
And the divergence we are seeing here is just wild.
It really is. Team Rhino Titan's primary active signal is Kabunushi Sokai, or shareholders meeting, in the finance sector.
Okay.
And they are currently cruising at a very strong average of plus 17.6%.
Which perfectly illustrates that seismograph analogy you mentioned earlier.
How do you mean?
Well, a shareholder meeting is a fixture of the Japanese corporate calendar.
Right.
The algorithm knows the exact dates, it measures the pre-existing PR releases, and it simply rides the pre-scheduled wave of institutional attention.
It's so stable. Meanwhile, Team Falcon Arrows is just taking on water. Their primary active signal is mushi, or bug, categorized under nature, and it is sinking rapidly.
Ouch.
The data shows it bleeding out at an average of minus 12.0%.
Yeah, that requires a breakdown of the mechanics. Because a minus 12% drop for a kinetic algorithm isn't just a slow day.
No.
No, it's a fundamental misread of the digital environment.
So how does an AI misread bugs so badly? Did they literally bet on insects becoming a trend, or is this a software bug thing?
It's the semantic collision. That's likely the exact reason it failed.
Semantic collision.
Yeah, the word mushi means insect, right? And as summer approaches in Japan, natural search volume for pest control or outdoor activities obviously rises.
Right.
The Falcon is tuned for velocity, not seasonality. It likely caught a sudden, massive kinetic spike in the word bug that was actually tied to a software outage.
Oh, or like a viral gaming glitch or something.
Exactly, or perhaps a temporary internet meme.
So Falcon's microphone picked up a massive crash, assuming it was a cultural shift, but it was just like someone dropping a plate in the kitchen?
That's a perfect analogy. And by the time the algorithm deployed its tracking resources, the plate was already swept up.
The internet had moved on.
Yep, the meme died. The software patch was released. The divergence between their expected heat and the actual sinking performance proves how rapidly the rules of the Japanese trendscape can just mutate overnight.
This really shows the immense danger of relying on digital velocity, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Falcon assumed that initial spike would propagate, that it would spread from niche forums to mainstream news. But the public bandwidth for that specific topic evaporated almost instantly.
The wave collapsed because the underlying sentiment was fragmented. Rhino, meanwhile, is completely insulated from that kind of semantic confusion.
Right, because the corporate calendar doesn't suffer from meme decay.
Exactly.
Well, if the active missions show us the chaos at the midpoint, the final reports reveal who truly mastered the environment.
Right, the end of the simulation.
Yeah. When we look at the trends that actually survived this 10-day gauntlet, does Rhino's structural approach still hold up? The source data gives us the mission-completed units.
We could view these as lighthouses, basically, illuminating what actually worked.
Right. The locked-in outcomes provide the definitive verdict on these differing philosophies. Team Rhino Titans locked in their final outcome for their keyword, Shokuchidoku.
Food poisoning.
Yes, back in health and beauty. They finished at a very impressive plus 16.9%.
Notice the pattern there. Face masks. shareholder meetings, food poisoning.
It's all structural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As the rainy season brings humidity, food safety becomes a paramount concern in Japanese households and restaurants. The algorithm identified a deeply structural, recurring anxiety.
But Team Falcon Arrows finally caught their lightning strike.
How did they?
They did. Their completed mission was the keyword for Sadonose, or hometown tax, in the finance category. And they finalized at a massive plus 25.2%.
Oh, wow. That is a phenomenal capture for kinetic propagation.
Right.
For you listening, Furusada Nozai is a system where Japanese taxpayers can redirect a portion of their municipal taxes to different regions in exchange for local gifts, like regional beef or fruit.
And it is highly susceptible to viral spikes.
Oh, incredibly.
All it takes is one influential creator posting a video about an incredible return gift they received from some tiny village in Hokkaido, and suddenly millions of people are searching for the exact same tax loophole.
Falcon's high sensitivity triggers worked flawlessly there. They detected the initial social media velocity, mapped the propagation curve, and captured the apex of the trend.
So on paper, Falcon won the battle. A 25.2% capture on hometown tax mathematically beats a 16.9% capture on food poisoning.
If you isolate the simulation to a single 10-day window, yes. The kinetic approach appears vastly superior there.
Which brings us to the most baffling part of this entire data dump.
Yeah, the bigger picture.
When I zoom out and look at the broader context of the season standings, the numbers completely flip the narrative.
You really do.
Team Rhino Titans, playing it safe with their boring structural stillness, is sitting at an absolutely staggering plus 1,542% overall for the season.
It is just a monumental compounding of accurate low volatility captures.
But Team Falcon Arrows, the unit that just nailed a brilliant 25% win, is currently sitting at an overall season standing of minus 3.4%.
Yeah, they are underwater.
How is it mechanically possible for an AI to be so radically correct on a massive kinetic trend, yet be losing over the long term?
Well, to understand that, we have to look at how these algorithms utilize the concept of the adapter.
Key adapter.
Yeah, when an algorithm processes a massive data flow, its internal adapter has to decide how sensitive its triggers should be.
Okay, I'm following.
Capturing a chaotic spike like the hometown tax requires a highly kinetic adapter. It has to be incredibly sensitive to the slightest whisper of viral noise.
But if your microphone is turned all the way up to catch a whisper, you are going to deafen yourself every time a truck drives by.
That is the exact mathematical trap Falcon is in.
Ah, I see.
High sensitivity to legitimate trends intrinsically guarantees a high susceptibility to false signals. Falcon is constantly getting battered by the digital noise of the Japanese market because they are trying to surf every single chaotic wave.
So they catch a huge ride, but then what?
They wipe out on 5 different false positives, like the mushy bug trend, and slowly bleed out their overall season score.
So Rhino's massive 1,500% season score proves that in a deeply confounding, highly modern digital society, the most profitable AI strategy actually relies on primitive constants.
It is a profound insight, honestly. Rhino uses a low sensitivity, high probability adapter.
They aren't trying to outsmart the chaos of the internet.
No, they anchor themselves to the bedrock beneath the internet.
It is so ironic. I mean, you have Japan, a country synonymous with hyper-advanced technology, neon-lit cities, and instantaneous digital culture.
Right.
And yet, the multi-million-dollar AI algorithm generating a huge return is just mathematically modeling humidity, food rotting, and seasonal sneezes.
We build these vast digital architectures, but we remain deeply biological creatures governed by the seasons, our physical discomforts, and rigid societal schedules.
Yeah.
Rhino wins the war because it recognizes that human nature is structurally still, even if human technology is kinetically propagating.
It's the difference between trying to monetize a trending hashtag and monetizing the fact that everybody eventually needs a glass of water.
That's a perfect distillation of the data.
But I want to reframe how we look at Falcon's failures for a second, because the AI Market Arena documentation makes a very specific point about this.
Oh, right, about how we interpret the losses.
Exactly. When we see Falcon sitting at a minus 3.4% for the season, or dropping 12% on a keyword, our human instinct is to label that a defeat.
Yeah, in the context of a trading floor, a negative return is a failure. But in the context of trend intelligence and algorithmic simulation, a negative return is a highly valuable boundary map.
The source data explicitly states that these losses are used to decode behavioral kinetics. The arena isn't just trying to win, it's trying to chart the invisible architecture of human action.
When Falcon's kinetic algorithm fails to predict a trend's longevity, it tells the system's engineers exactly where the boundaries of collective human attention lie on that specific day.
It maps the walls of the maze.
Exactly.
So a failure tells them that the public's bandwidth for a specific type of novelty was exhausted.
Or that an environmental factor superseded a digital one. Every time Falcon wipes out, the AI market arena consumes that failure as data, refining its understanding of why the collective consciousness of the Japanese market suddenly rejects a concept.
Wow.
Yeah, it is cold, hard, forward-looking research.
Every single misstep is just another data point mapping the human mind at scale. And that leads to a rather unsettling thought about the relationship between these systems and our daily lives.
Unsettling. How so?
Well, we have spent this entire deep dive looking at how these algorithms track us. They know when we'll search for face masks. They know the exact mathematical velocity of our interest in municipal taxes. They are modeling our anxieties and our comforts with ruthless precision to generate a 1,500% return.
They hold a highly accurate mirror up to the broader economy.
But if these algorithms are getting this good at predicting our baseline behaviors, who is really training who?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Right. Are these algorithms simply learning our habits, or are highly optimized digital markets slowly training us to be more predictable? If an AI relies on our structural stillness to succeed, does the digital ecosystem around us begin to subtly encourage that stillness?
That is the ultimate question regarding the future of the internet.
Yeah.
As trend intelligence moves from merely observing the economy to actively shaping the content we consume, the feedback loop closes. Are we the authors of the cultural trend, or just the biological medium it travels through?
Are we making active choices, or are we just generating the expected seasonal data for Rhino's seismograph? It's something to think about the next time you find yourself suddenly searching for a rainy season umbrella on the exact day everyone else does.
A reminder that even in the digital age, our most predictable asset is our biology.
Definitely. Listen, if you want to follow these active missions and track this ongoing real-time battle between structural stillness and kinetic propagation for yourself, make sure you subscribe to this channel.
Highly recommend it.
Then head down to the video description, click the link to visit the AI Market Arena Substack, and register for a premium subscription.
Yeah, that premium access will give you the deeply detailed, unfiltered analytics you need to track the daily performance of these algorithms.
Right, and it lets you explore the absolute cutting edge of trend intelligence. Keep observing the arena, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.